Hi, I'm gonna do my video on cochlear implants. So, the function of a cochlear implant is similar to a hearing aid, but it's not exactly the same. A hearing aid is meant to like amplify sound, where a cochlear implant is meant to amplify like the vibrations, and the vibrations send signals to your brain, which help you link the sounds to whatever it's coming from. So a cochlear implant works by stimulating the auditory nerve, which runs like to your brain. So it goes from the outside world to the auditory nerve to your brain, and then that's where it sends signals so that you can connect the sounds. So the good thing about the cochlear implants is that they help bypass the damaged ear. So they don't have anything to do with the ear. So basically anyone can get them. They go on the outside of your ear, so they have nothing to do with the inside of your ear, and it doesn't matter how badly damaged your ear is, you can still use cochlear implants. But part of the process is that you have to relearn how to hear. So that is one thing that some people struggle with when they get cochlear implants. So the next slide is about who can get cochlear implants. So anyone who's deaf or hard of hearing or has any hearing impairment can be fitted for cochlear implants. It was approved by the FDA in the 1980s for adults, and then in 2000 for children over 12 months old. So there's downsides to getting them as an adult, just because you do have to relearn how to use them, because you're not hearing the same way that you would out of ears, like using hearing aids. So you have to get used to like the different type of stimulation and figure out what like all the sounds mean. But if you are able to get them like when you're super young, you're able to develop them like you would normal speech and hearing, then you don't have as many problems learning these things later in life. So that's a major plus side. A child can get them when they're young instead of waiting until they're an adult. They can also be good for adults who lost hearing later in life, because these adults don't have then to learn like how to communicate through sign language, and a lot of times they can relearn a lot easier than if an adult was born deaf and never was able to hear until later. Some people say that like they don't want the cochlear implants because it makes them lose their connection with the deaf community, but some people then do really like having them because they're able to be part of the deaf community and the culture of like the hearing community. So it kind of just depends on the person on what they think based on the cultural aspect. So the next slide is about how you would go about getting a cochlear implant. So you do have to have surgery, and they implant like the device and like a magnet behind your ear, so that the outside piece can connect to that piece. And then there's a part that goes right behind your ear. So a lot of times you have to go through like speech therapy or other types of therapies so that you can learn how to use the cochlear implant. It's not just instant once you do have it. So there are some things that might also stop people from getting them are like the risk. Cochlear implants are really low risk on like a scale of surgeries, but there is still always a risk because you are going through surgery still, even though it's a really low risk procedure. And then you also have to like work with your insurance company to make sure that that is going to cover it. So that's another aspect that people have to consider when choosing whether or not they want cochlear implants. So the next page is just my references. I looked at the National Institute of Deafness and Other Communication Disorders, the Mayo Clinic, and someone from a Healthy Hearing website. So that's it.